Om Shanti. A very good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Brahma Kumaris IT Wing, I, Krati Verma, volunteer from IT Wing, heartily welcomes you to today's special webinar on lifestyle modification, small steps for big rewards. Before we begin with the session, let's take a moment to relax, to place ourselves in a state of peace and calm. I request you all to please sit in an upright position, palms turned upwards and feet firmly on the ground. Gently breathe in and breathe out. Visualize that you're sitting on a beach and the gentle and calm waves of the sea are touching your feet. With each wave coming, breathe in a stretch of fresh and positive energy. And with each wave going away, feel the negative energy leaving you. Gently breathe in and breathe out. Let the positivity fill us up. Let us feel the silence and the peace all around us and in us. Now, gently come back to the awareness of the session. Brahma Kumaris, an international NGO, largest spiritual institute administered by women, with its presence in more than 140 countries, is dedicatedly working towards personal development and world renewal. Brahma Kumaris is active within various chapters of the society through 20 wings. One of the wings is IT Wing, which is working towards catering IT professionals across the globe. IT Wing constitutes of IT professionals who are active practitioners of applied spiritual concepts and meditation while living in a work-family structure. So far, through the conferences and retreats conducted by IT Wing, more than 40,000 IT professionals benefited over the last 6 years. Employees from 100 plus IT organizations such as Google, Microsoft, HCL, Cognizant, and many more participated in these retreats. Before we begin with today's session, there's a small note about it. It's a disclosure, you're entering a green zone. This presentation is a compilation of scientific evidence on lifestyle and not just opinions. It encourages viewers to inculcate a healthy lifestyle but does not enforce a belief system or any particular way on them. It's your discretion to follow. Now, let me take this opportunity to heartily welcome Dr. Mohit. Dr. Mohit D. Gupta is currently working as Professor of Cardiology in GB Pant Hospital and Medical Superintendent of Cardiac Sciences. He's also the cardiologist in Parliament Health Annex for honorable members of Parliament and others. He was recently honored with Excellence in Cardiology 2018 award by Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare. He has been associated with Brahma Kumaris, World Spiritual University since childhood and has been practicing Rajayoga for past 33 years. He firmly believes in maintaining a balance between spirituality and science. Now let us heartily welcome Dr. Mohit Gupta to today's session, and I request Mr. Mohit to please go ahead with the session. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sister Krati, for a very generous introduction. Thank you so much for a very generous introduction. And today we are going to talk about something that is a very, very important topic and often a very neglected one also. So this is about lifestyle modifications, taking small steps for big rewards. My disclosure has already been shown. And as we start this journey, it is very, very pertinent for all of us to mention that these are the important papers that you all might be interested in. These are all guideline based papers from the American College of Cardiology, published last year and last to last year only, and one of them this year on dietary cholesterol, on trending cardiovascular nutritional controversies, and primary prevention of cardiovascular disease. They are a good read. And if you want to go into further details, what I'm going to talk to you today, you can definitely go through them. I have nothing to disclose as far as this particular talk is concerned. So we all know that life is speeding up and everybody is getting unwell. There is no doubt about it. And as we progress, the reason for this particular thing that is happening in our life is because of the imbalance that we have created. That's the work and the life imbalance. This is the kind of profile that we all are having today. Right from morning till evening, we are just doing throughout the day. And unfortunately, what happens is we are unable to balance it with our right brain, which is a creative brain, which makes us enjoy and feel good in our life. And that is why when this balance is lost, it is then when we start experiencing the stress and pressures in our life. Our life is practically turned into two terms. I am busy and I don't have time. I am busy and I don't have time. It is so much important for us to understand that as we go, the word disease is made of two words, dis plus ease. That means when easiness in our life, it goes away, not only physically, but mentally, we become disease. That is very, very important for all of us to understand. So the start and the genesis of disease is not just physically, but it's also in our mind, that is our mental state. And that is why most of the disorders today, most of the diseases, in fact, which we talk today, are called lifestyle disorders, more than 90% of them. Look at this. A particular negative situation affecting our psyche, our emotional health, causing us to be in anxiety, in depression, creating disinterest, confusion, and anger. So before even the disease starts and affects our body, it is first affecting our mind. And then this disease starts influencing our body. So diseases like asthma, like ulcers, diarrhea, osteoarthritis, allergies, viral illnesses, heart attacks, early degeneration, early aging of the brain, these are all responsible or are basically lifestyle disorders, what we call as the psychosocial disorders. So if we understand this, it is pertinent for us today to talk about that. Why do we need to worry? Our life is already going on. We are eating what we like. We are moving as much as we like. Then why and what is the importance of lifestyle today in our life? This is first thing. The second is, what do I understand what lifestyle is? What are the components of a holistic lifestyle? What is my definition and what actually lifestyle is? And then I will be taking you through some evidence-based changes that we really need to inculcate in our life. What is the evidence? What is the science behind it? Why should you be doing it? And then we will be ending up with a short and a beautiful creative meditation. So let us take another dip into the holy sea of webinars. And this one is a really unique one. That will be an eye-opener. This is definitely going to tinkle your mind, can raise some eyebrows, can raise more questions also. But let me tell you, I've honestly tried to knit down all the relevant facts, usable facts for your life so that your lifestyle can become very simple. And why? Because I have gone through this process myself, which I'll be sharing in the near future. So who is the biggest killer of mankind according to you? Is it the wars, the accidents, the calamities, or the diseases like one which we are even seeing today, the COVID pandemic? These are not the biggest killers of mankind. It's our lifestyle. 90% of all our deaths are because of the kind of life that we are living. WHO estimates that by the year of 2021, atherosclerosis, diabetes is going to kill more than 20 million people per year. It is far more than those being killed by the war, by the famines, by the AIDS, tuberculosis, and all other diseases combined. And that's a reason to worry. That's the first reason to worry. Look at this. 58 lakh people die due to non-communicable diseases, the lifestyle disorders like cancer, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases in India. They account up to 70%, and now this percentage has gone up even more significantly. Look at this. It is consuming almost 40% of our global health expenditure. The lifestyle disorders are practically consuming 40% of our global health expenditure. That means if we are able to modify and change our life, we will be contributing to and also income of the country. Look at this. Most common 5 lifestyle disorders: diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases and stroke, diseases related to smoking and drug abuse, obesity, and another one, not the least one, is the stress, the psychosocial stress and anxiety that we experience in our life. In our country is the worst, amongst the worst hit countries by depression. 90 to 95% of our generation is experiencing some form of stress. Again, a very powerful and a very prominent lifestyle disorder. So having understood all these, cancer rates are doubling, heart disease is increasing by 34% in 26 years, diabetes is increasing, everything is going on haywire. And then WHO again comes up and says that India will be the capital, the leaders, at least in something by 2021, hypertension, diabetes, and CVD. Something that not at all is pleasurable, something that definitely not amuses me, something that really is a matter of great concern for all of us. So we all, none of us, it does not exclude any one of us, because there is some level of lifestyle dysfunction that is present in all of us, and we are heading towards a medical, social, and a spiritual crisis of catastrophic proportions, not too in distant future. Look at the present times, the COVID times, the anxiety and depression rising huge, 95% of the population almost getting the feelings of fear and anxiety. So already we are in the midst of the pandemic of emotions. So when all the things are going haywire, what do I do? The first thing is that we should try to take control of our life. I must understand. I showed you this statistics not to make you, have that feeling of fear and worry, but to make you concerned that this is the right time to take control of your life. Irrespective of whether you are obese or whether you are thin or whatever is your build, what is your exercise level, but there is a reason for all of us to be concerned and take control of it. Look at this. It has to become a priority in our life. If we don't prioritize lifestyle, our lifestyle disorders will take over. I will show you as we go ahead into further. Third, this change is not a one-day process. Oh, I'm not going to eat anything today. I'm on a diet today. I'll exercise for 5 hours today, and then next 10 days, I'm not going to exercise. No, this is not going to work out for us. This change is a process. This is not a one-day event. I'll show you with my own experience that this transformation requires persistence, attitude, and perseverance. Very, very important. So you need to take control. You need to prioritize. We need to understand that this has to be a normal and a gradual change in our life. And then we have to create a balance also. Very important. If we think work is a priority, everything else is a priority, it's not going to work out for me. It's not going to work out for me. But we need to understand that this balance has to start in our life. And I'll tell you a reason for this. Look at this. This is shoot a picture, click my picture. Probably you would not recognize in 2001 from the Disneyland in Orlando. I'm standing with my friend. And at that time, I was 96 kgs. I remember when I came back from US, one of my friends casually told me that, you want to become a cardiologist, you should also look like a cardiologist. And that was a day of 16th July 2001. And that thing really hurted me. That thing really, I experienced, oh, he's absolutely right. This is not the kind of personality that I should be having. I never joined a gym in my life. I've never consulted a dietitian ever, never. I just tried to modify simple things in my diet. I took up to a good exercise alone in my life. And from 20th July till 9th February, it took only 6 months to create this transformation, a totally new transformation. And it is not only a question of creating a small transformation, it's a question of persistent. And this is 1 year back, then you are able to maintain these changes and have still a balanced lifestyle. Why I am here in front of you today is because when I was this in 2001, I came back, I was suffering from hypertension, a young guy, not even 30 years, only 26 years, hypertension, borderline diabetes, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, pain, lethargy, anxiety, liver enzymes elevated. Oh, should I be consuming medicines? No. And borderline thyroid also. As I practiced a good lifestyle, everything disappeared. Diabetes disappeared, blood pressure went back to normal. Your health, you regained the same confidence, your agility, everything came back, and you're able to do the same things in a much more beautiful and a much more powerful way. This is the power of inculcating a healthy lifestyle. So what I'm going to share with you is my own experiences and simple tips that we need to practice to have a very beautiful life. Lifestyle is the way one lives his or her life. What you are eating, how much you are exercising, and what is your thinking pattern, your ability to cope up with these stressful situations. Why it is important? Because these small changes will enable you to live your life much more beautifully and much more energetic. When we talk about life, it's not about just body. It's absolutely not just about this body. It has three important components. One is the diet, second one is the exercise, and third one is taking a proper rest. So we'll be addressing each one of them scientifically and logically. But when we talk about diet, we must understand that it's not only the physical diet, it's not only the diet of this body, but who is the driver of this body? My own soul, my mind, my thoughts. They are controlling my body. My positive thoughts make my body happy. I feel happy. But my negative thoughts make my body feel weak. So equally important is to give a healthy diet to your soul and to your mind also. Similarly, as we talk about scientific evidence and benefits of exercise to the body, it is equally important to exercise your soul and your mind also. Very, very important. And as we give rest to our body, it is also pertinent and important to give rest to our mind. Very, very important. So let us start with a healthy diet. I'm going to show you some very interesting principles, very fine principles. What are the facts? Why am I overweight? It's about eating the wrong kind of food. Second, we eat the wrong type of calories per meal. And third, we have wrong eating patterns. So it could be any one of them or it could be combined. And in total, the calories that are going in should actually be less or equal to the calories that we are burning. And if that is there, then we are able to maintain weight. People, hundreds of people come to my OPDs and outpatient department who are obese. Doctor, please give me a pill so that I get thin. And I always tell them for last 2 decades that your food is more powerful than any weight prescription losing pills. It is your food that can make you either thin or fat. So it is important for us to choose the diet that we are having. Why do we lose weight? Improve your physical appearance. I felt very happy. The moment I lose weight, I'm more energetic. Scientifically, it decreases the risk of breast, uterine cancer, colon and prostate cancer in men. It decreases the risk of gallbladder, osteoarthritis, gallbladder diseases, stroke, and cardiovascular disorders. So everything, almost all the disorders, you have a healthy lifestyle, is going to give you benefit. And very important, if you gain 1 kg of weight, that means your your body has to form 3 kilometers of additional blood vessels to deliver that blood. Imagine 1 kg and 3 kilometers of all these vessels have to be increased to deliver that blood. That is the importance of maintaining a good weight. So let us understand some scientific facts. Fact number 1 from Circulation 2019. Plant-based diets along with fruits, nuts, vegetables, legumes, lean vegetables, soluble and insoluble vegetable fibers, they are definitely associated with almost 20 to 30% decrease in mortality in death. The Predimet, the Mediterranean diet, which was carried out again and published and now included in most of the guidelines, it showed that if we are having pro-vegetarian diet, that means the patterns are, more vegetable consumptions versus the animal consumption, then it leads to significant mortality reduction. 41% decrease in mortality with a pro-vegetarian diet. This is all science. Look at this. The Adventist Health Study 2 cohort, they compared the animal versus the plant protein. When they analyzed, 61% increase in death was observed with the meat protein. So what meat we are consuming as proteins, they had 61% chances of higher mortality. And what they saw was replacing meat with nuts and seeds, that is plant proteins, leads to decrease, 40% decrease in mortality. So study says that meat protein is unhealthy, but proteins from nuts and seeds is heart smart. These are all facts. And last important factor, study from the US healthcare professionals. Plant protein was associated with the reduction in mortality of 10% every time when 3% of your energy is replaced by plant protein instead of animal protein. So this is the data that we have today to say that our diet should be a smart heart diet, a healthy diet, a colored vegetable and fruitful diet. 3 to 5 servings every day, preferably, invariably, always before the meals. Remember this, what I'm speaking, fruits, vegetables, salads before the meals, not after the meals, preferably 3 to 5 servings, and preferably at least before the evening. Fruit should be avoided in the evening. And in case, if you need to have fruits or light vegetables in the night, then a preferable fruit is a papaya or an apple or something like that. So all your diet, all your vegetables should be a mix of every kind of vegetables. Spinach, broccoli, seasonal vegetables as we typically speak in India. All kind of vegetables and fruits should be combined whenever you are having salads of everything, of the whole thing. What are the things that you should be avoided? Simple carbohydrates like refined flour, white bread, white pasta, limited consumption of maida. All these are devoid of fibers. They increase our triglyceride levels and acutely increase our glucose levels. So these are the things which should be consumed in minimum. Remember, I'm never saying avoid anything. I consume everything that I'm mentioning today, everything, but I average them out. So minimum means less. It does not mean a zero. So a healthy lifestyle, a healthy food is not just complete abstinence of anything. No, I'm not going to eat sweet. I'm not going to eat this XYZ diet. No, my principle is balance everything, burn out everything, enjoy your food to the fullest. If I'm an hypertensive, should I limit salt? Yes. Would you love to have a food which is without a salt? Absolutely not. So it's a J-shaped association. Remember, more than 2 grams of salt consumption leads to higher death. So even for hypertensives, you can have normal salt in your diet. When I say avoid salt, what are the things that you should be avoiding? tinned juices, fruits, sauces, chutney, and anything that contain preservatives. That is very, very important. They are very harmful. Namkeen, papad, and achar they consume, they have huge amount of salt, so limit them in your diet. Avoid sprinkling salt over salads and fruits. Many of us are in habit. We will sprinkle that salad or salt over our salad. That's an extra salt consumption. Avoid that. Avoid salty salad dressing. You do them and consume normal diet, you will be healthy, I promise you. That's very, very important. So never get misguided by those salts like, low sodium salt, XYZ salt. These are all promotional gimmicks. You should not get lost by these marketing gimmicks. Remember, listen to what I'm saying today is all salts, irrespective of the kind of salt, whether it is rock salt, XYZ salts, people are promoting different kind of salts. There is enough evidence, which I have personally reviewed also. They are invariably almost normal. They are the same components until unless they are specially iodinated, they are specially energized with certain vitamins or minerals. Rest all salts are practically giving you the same benefit. So what about if I like French fries, donuts, samosa, kachori, pakoda? This is something that is bringing salivation right now in my good. Oh, I love to enjoy. I don't mind eating a samosa. I don't mind eating a kachori. But if you ask me to do it thrice a week, if you ask me to do it twice a week, I would refrain from doing that. I would not suggest you to do that. Reason I'll tell you. It's not harmful to consume them, but most of the time when we go to the restaurants, many of you, when I go to the malls or, for some kind of shopping, I see people are buying those half-cooked samosas, half-cooked, those potato wafers, which you are supposed to bring back to your home, keep them in a deep freezer. They are already half fried. And when you are asked, you are again deep frying them. And that is where the danger starts. You are making your food very tasty, but you are making your food poisonous. High total mortality and cardiovascular death because you are showering your food with trans fats. Remember, whenever you go to eat something outside, people are keeping the food half cooked. That is disastrous. And not only they are refrying the half cooked food into the same oil, and that is double bullet into your heart. Very, very harmful. We should refrain from these things. I love sugar sweetened and artificial sweetened beverages. Remember, occasional consumption of this. It's been almost 5 to 7 years. I have not consumed a tinned juice in my life. Off and on, I take a Coke or a soft drink. I do admit to that, but I have not consumed any preserved fruits or anything. If you are consuming it daily, look at this data, what science says. There is 20% increase in diabetes risk if you are having one serving every day in your life. The risk is less if you're consuming less, but it is definitely there. There is increased mortality if sugar is more than 10% of your total caloric consumption. So little sugar consumption is fine. But if you are habitual of eating everyday sugar, if you're habitual of having it after every meal, it's a disaster that you should be avoiding. This is pure science. So my suggestion to you is spoil yourself occasionally, enjoy it to the fullest, but don't make it as a regular habit. Don't make it as a regular. So big controversy about your oils and foods. Which oil should I be using? I'm using this, XYZ oil. I'm using ghee. I'm using olive oil. Every day I'm bombarded with messages and questions. My answer to you is use everything that you want. You want to have ghee? Have it. You want to have XYZ oil? Have it. But rotate those oils. For Indians, you would be surprised that even mustard oil is very, very good. Olive oil, listen to this, olive oil, which was used in predominantly in Mediterranean diet, they consumed this olive oil raw in nature. That means without cooking. And they used extra virgin olive oil, which is 5 to 6,000 rupees a liter, unafforded by most of us, and that too when consumed raw. So this is a impractical thing in a setup. So all these oils lose their value when we are deep frying and cooking them. So if you have to use oil, rotate those oils. Ideally, the best balanced oil is the rice bran oil. If you like the ghee consumption, use it. But remember, they are saturated fats. Occasional little consumption of ghee is absolutely fine. But completely, if you are every day having your paratha or your frying your things into ghee and tel, this is disastrous. This is really harmful. And I'll show you the recommendations in the next slides. So a practical tip for you: use all oils, have multiple oils on your shelf. Every 10 to 15 days, you rotate your oil and use different kinds of oil differently. Pertinent to note that what do I do? If I use one particular oil, should I not be reusing it? If you have deep fried in one particular oil one time, avoid using the same oil for deep frying again. Don't waste that oil. You can use that oil for seasoning. You can use that oil for seasoning and shallow frying, preferably only for seasoning. So reusing for heated oils is not recommended. You use the PUFA rich oils for seasoning and MUFA for frying. Preferred methods for cooking: baking, microwaving you can use, deep frying, shallow frying, whatever you want. A balance of all is fine. So consume lots of fruits and vegetables. Yogurt is very, very important in our diet. It contains natural emulsifiers, natural bacteria, especially the homemade yogurt. And this is one thing that we all should be consuming in our diet. So these are certain practical tips that we all need to have. Use preferably warm water. Let us see the evidence and benefit from some controversial foods. These were the published in guidelines. So there is definite evidence for harm once you are using added sugars and the energy drinks. Your children, if they are having energy drinks, very harmful. Blood pressure increases, platelet aggregation, and they are at the risk of sudden death and arrhythmia. No energy drinks at anybody's home from now, please. My humble request to you, absolutely refrain from having any kind of energy. Third, dairy products, saturated fats, preferably they should be avoided. But if you want to consume, have it regularly in minimalistic amount. Fermented foods and seaweeds, they are very good for your health. More and more data is emerging. Certain foods are going to give us definite benefit. These are like legumes. Consumption of tea and coffee is very good for health. For all those tea and coffee toddlers, it's fantastic for health. But the evidence is only for black tea and black coffee, not for a milk and a sugar mixed tea and coffee. So if we are consuming a black coffee frequently, if we are consuming tea maybe 3 or 4 times frequently, any type, it could be a herbal or even a plain black tea, they are useful for your health, helpful for you. Mushrooms have particularly been shown to have a good antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effect. Supplements of vitamins. Now, please pay attention to this. Supplementing your diet with extra vitamins, those imported capsules, those simple B complex tablets, everything. If you are not deficient, they are harmful for you, especially in females. Avoid consuming vitamin supplementation until and unless there is a documented deficiency. If we consume unnecessarily, they are not just neutral, but they might create harm for you also. Look at this. Again, the evidence is clearly. Vitamins, they are prospective studies, and we can supplement only if they are deficient, but too much may raise the risk of cancer also, especially in female vitamins. Mushrooms, I have mentioned. The energy drinks should be avoided. Tea and coffee should be frequent. Legumes should be frequent. Added sugar should be avoided. And dairy products can be consumed, but should be limited to as much as possible. So look at, again, the summary of some more foods, your common questions. Coconut and palm oil. These are the 2 oils for which there is clear evidence that they're very high in saturated fatty acids and raise cholesterol significantly. So preferably they should be avoided. Now, you're not going to blame me for this, but eggs, now in the new guidelines, they have strongly recommended that they should be avoided because they are having a harmful effect. And here is why I specifically took this statement. So advisory committee clearly recommends that it remains prudent to advise patients to significantly limit intake of dietary cholesterol in form of eggs or any high cholesterol foods to as little as possible. This is evidence, pure evidence. Juicing of fruits. We have fresh fruits and some people are, oh, I don't like fresh fruits, I would like to have a juice. Harmful. It's very harmful because it removes the pulp and it increases the caloric concentration, which is very, very harmful for our body. Certain southern dietary patterns like fats, oils, fried foods, eggs, organs and processed meats and sugar sweetened. These southern diets don't just refer to the southern India, but their southern diets is a specific type of dietary patterns. They are all very high. Inconclusive evidence for virgin coconut oil, high dose antioxidant supplements, vitamin E. Probably if you are consuming, I am not against that, but unnecessary consumption should be, avoided. If you are juicing your fruits and vegetables, so what I do, sometimes when I come home, I like to take a vegetable juice. I'll just take cucumber and tomato, and I will just put it into a mixer. I will just grind it without actually removing that pulp. I'll pour it in a glass with a little bit of mint, salt, and a lemon, and I'll have it. That's okay. That's perfect. That's acceptable for you. There is clear benefit if we are using an extra virgin olive oil, I clearly mentioned, but consuming it raw, which is unlikely for most of us. Blueberries and strawberries are very good for health. They are having good antioxidant effect. 30 grams of nuts every day, but avoiding, it is very, very important is that we control the portion. Having a bunch full of those fried kajus and one full of so much pistas is going to do a lot of harm to us. So balance every day with 2 or 5 elements, 1 or 2, those akhrout, what we say, and different kind of nuts, seeds. You can balance your green leafy vegetables. Have as much as you want. Plant-based proteins like and other legumes and beans, you have as much as you want in your. So this is an overview of what kind of diet that we should all be consuming, and this is the evidence. What I'm speaking is not my opinion. We have trials and evidences for what I'm speaking, and clearly now the guidelines have stated that these are the do's and don'ts that we should all be doing. Water is very important for us. 10 amazing reasons we should be having amazing amount of water, because we are 75 to 90% water. Our brain 80% is water. Our lungs are 90% water. Our blood is 85% water. Skin is water. Muscles are water. So much is the important to hydrate yourself every day. There's a formula for calculation also. You can always search for it. Your weight into 2 divided by 5 is equal to number of the glasses. So XYZ kind of things are available, but consume as much water as you can, looking at your cardiac condition and the doctor's guidelines also, because it gives you a clear skin, fluid balance. It is like a muscle fuel. It is a blood normalizer, fatigue buster, brain booster, joint greaser, toxic remover, everything. Water is magic. Water is so good for all of us. I always prefer to have a balanced water, a warm water or a lukewarm water. That is very good for health, even in summers. Even, that typical old traditions of having the water of a matka or water in a pottery is fantastic. It's going to give a lot of health benefits to you. So that is how we have to balance the amount of water that we have to consume. So I always say water on the go. Have a bottle of water with you and keep on consuming it according to your, how much you want to actually use. Some people commit mistakes by jumping somewhere, and some people are deliberately committing mistakes. And one of those is like, tobacco. Tobacco consumption is strongly recommended, highly recommended immediately. Huge. The moment you start with 594 carcinogens, we never know that which puff could be our last puff. And the moment we quit smoking, it is so much important that benefit starts within few minutes of our smoking cessation, and our lungs start breathing properly, the capacity starts increasing, the health diseases like cancer, CBD, they decrease, we have more stamina and concentration. Smokers have much less concentration and memory and much less intellectual power. And definitely we are going to be a role model, having more sense of freedom, psychological and physical freedom, and gives us whiter teeth and a clearer skin. Most of the smokers you will see, they will have a black lips or black teeth and stained teeth, in fact, if I'm to say. And then it is giving us an economical benefit also. So tobacco abstinence is a separate topic which I'll address some other day, but very important. Motivate yourself to avoid tobacco in any form. So this is about the healthy diet. Is you are what you are eating. Remember this. It is not the quantity of food that you are consuming, but it's the quality of food that you are having. Remember, eat everything. It's not good, if I go somewhere, some people are serving something that I'm not normally accustomed to eat, but it is coming into my principles, I can do that. I would love to eat that, but only in moderation. So a good is not created by avoidance, but it is created by balancing. That's the key. Not eating this, overconsumption of this. There are numerous food fads and food diets which are available. We are paying thousands and thousands. Definitely they are useful. Keto diets, TCHF diet, XYZ diets. You can use any one of them. Or intermittent fasting, that is also very, very important. These are for those people who are less motivated and who are wanting very fast and quick results without much exercise. You can do that. Definitely you can do that. But if we decrease, remember the principle, calorie in, if it goes down and calorie out is higher, we are burning more calories, we are bound to lose weight. Nobody can stop us from doing it. Nobody can stop us from doing it. So the key principle is balancing your diet. So as we talk about good, smart heart diet, don't you think we should also give our mind a smart mind diet? Very important for us. What is the kind of food that we are giving to our mind? Let us check the energy that we are consuming today by our mind. We are surrounded, no doubt, by digital media, by print media, by social media. Even now we are connected by media. Our day starts up with a Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, updating our status, doing the same things again, meeting the same people, doing the same job, the same way of thinking, pressing the same emotional buttons, everything same, And in this whole process, we are having the feeling of pain, worry, uncertainty, fear, irrationalism, overstress, anxiety, all these things given to us free of cost by our media. Open the newspaper, fully loaded with pain, worry, uncertainty, fear. Open any television channel right now at this moment, again filled with all those four feelings. Get up in the morning, your WhatsApp is filled with this. Look up into this Facebook, Twitter, you again have loaded with many messages criticizing and irritating people. So let us see that what happens to our mind when we are taking this energy, we absorb this energy. It becomes part of our system. And the moment I read this, the moment it becomes a part of my energy, I automatically start radiating this energy in form of forwarding the message. Not only I keep this negative energy, but I also have the power to press that forward button. Arey, padha hai, suna hai, do you know this kind of a message had come? Read this, and people will again jump and we will forward it to so many people who will again be infected by those toxic doses of those negative feelings. What happens when we are consuming fear and uncertainty? Our emotional center, the limbic center, the amygdala, it takes control of our logical thinking brain, the rational thinking brain. And the moment it takes controls of our rational thinking brain, our ability to think properly, it goes off, and then we lose control and start behaving as an emotional gimmick, and it hijacks our brain, and we are not driving our car. Our fear and our emotions are driving our car. तभी हम कहते हैं ना, off and on, कि when a person is in extreme fear, oh, इसकी सोचने और समझने की शक्ति समाप्त है. He has lost his ability to think rationally when he is in anger because the emotional center is in control. It is hijacking. The stimulus goes to thalamus, to the amygdala, and even before it is reaching to the neocortex, the rational processing brain, we are already a gamut of emotions. So stop toxic consumptions of negative emotions, my dear. Unplug yourself. Emotional diet should be checked. No doubt we are wiser and smarter today with technology. No doubt. But my question to you is, are you happier? Are you always happier to just be using technology? That's a false sense of connection that we keep on having in our life. Oh, I'm connected to everybody. But look at this. Living in one room, in one house, we have created home within our homes. Children sitting in one room, mother and father sitting in another room, and connected through what? Not through eye and eye contact, but connected through WhatsApp and media. This is not the kind of life. We are chained by technology. We are continuously chained by technology. And this is giving catastrophic effect on our mind, on every aspect of our life. This high calorie digital consumption is devastating our brain, is decreasing our productivity, is taking a toll on our relationships and family, and it is also having effect on our health and well-being. So let us practice a simple digital detox technique that in first 60 minutes of our day and last 60 minutes of our day, let us detox and disconnect from all kinds of technology. Let me write and read something new. Let me play with my family, playing a good game, talking to each other, reading something new, listening to meditative music, staying simple and calm. This is what we need. This is a beautiful exercise that we all can do. Really helpful for all of us. So much beneficial. This is going to be really blissful. First 60 and last 60 minutes, because this is the time when your emotional and rational brain, your conscious and subconscious brain are connected with each other. They are in continuous connection with each other. And whatever you are putting into your brain, your mind, those thoughts will go into your subconscious mind. So first 60 minutes and last 60 minutes of your day, don't give anything negative to your mind. When you are sitting with your family, at least take out 40 minutes to just be with your family. Merely the presence of digital technologies or digital world or this particular mobile, merely its presence within, when you are talking, when I'm talking to you, if I'm keeping this mobile right here in front of you, this will decrease the meaningful conversations by almost 25%. So avoid using all the digital technologies when you are talking to your children. Have a e-free dinner or have a e-free meal. When did you last have this meal with your family? Just enjoying, just being with your own self, and nothing digital. You are smiling naturally, connecting with each other. Look at the state of your mind. Whatever you are eating, it will give you so much power. So this is the first important lesson for our smart mind diet. And second, very important fact that I must tell you is energize your food and water. This is called nutritional psychology. It's not important. You may be having the most healthy food, like you see their plates. I checked, they have all healthy fruits and vegetables in their plate. But what is the energy that you are instilling into these fruits and vegetables? What is the energy that you are putting them? You are charging them. The water that is on the table, what is the energy that we put into this? It is that what is called as nutritional psychology. Eating a food, a healthy food. Oh, I'm eating this. I don't know whether this is really going to work for me or not. Pata nahi fayda hoga bhi ya nahi hoga. You are already making it emotionally and nutritionally. It may be physically very, very healthy, but emotionally it becomes very, very unhealthy. So very important for all of us is that your food and water has unique memory. That is why the ancient and the traditional wisdom of our own country, the yogic philosophy in our own country. What did we do earlier? They used to sit, they used to cook food in remembrance of God. The kitchens used to be clean kitchens, absolutely clean. Nobody was supposed to take even their sandals or chappals into their kitchen. It used to be hygienic completely. It used to be sanitized repeatedly. And not only this, whenever food and water was being consumed, they always used to energize that food and water by remembering God. Many of us do it even today, even for water as well as food. This is called, because this is why, because our food and water has memory. It has very powerful and emotional effect on our body and our mind also. Scientifically, now it is well proven by Dr. Masaru Emoto, as I shared earlier in my last lecture also, that if we have negative feelings for water, look at this, the kind of crystal pattern. And once we have positive feeling for water, look at this, how beautifully the structure of water changes merely by your thoughts. Look at this, just by imagining somebody who is really bad, like, they thought of Adolf Hitler. Look at the shape of the water. And when they remembered Mother Teresa, look at the shape of the water, how beautifully changed into a diamond. Feelings like wisdom, thank you, truth, eternal, love you, peace, all these giving beautiful shapes to our water. It all is showing that your food that you are consuming, the water that you are consuming, is having emotional energy. You are putting those emotional energies into those food and water. So that is why, as most of the dietitians and most of the people teach you principles of healthy nutrition, very important for all of us as yogis to have a yogi life is not only to eat a good food, but also to eat it with good vibrations, energize it with good vibrations, and eat it with a healthy and happy state of mind. Consumption of food, even with negative feelings, oh, I don't know whether it is going to give me benefit. Cooking food with these feelings, mother's cooking food, I'm cooking a good food, but I don't know, my children don't eat this food, this is like this, they would always like fast food. You're already energizing your food with negative emotion. Very harmful, very harmful. Look at this, food grains, Dr. Masuru Boto. When you are saying, I hate your food, my food, look at this, how badly it is infected by fungus, same source, same rice, same time period. And when you say, I love you, I'm thankful to you, you're energizing me. How beautifully your food is energized. It remains healthy, absolutely healthy. You are creating consciously the destination, the future of your food. How and beautifully you can energize your food by your thoughts. So let us do these two exercises for our smart mind diet. Understanding the nutritional psychology behind the food. Very, very important. My thoughts are very important, more important, in fact, than the food that I am consuming. Look at the energy that you are giving to your food and to yourself when you are consuming your food. So this is like, the law of attraction with water, positive affirmations and gratitude. Fill your food and water with positive affirmations and gratitude. Must. It's a must do today from now. Most of us don't give a heed to it. Most of us ignore. But in Brahma Kumaris, a very simple thing that we do is we have a glass of water. Even if consuming, we just pause for 5 seconds. This is a pure water, a very pure water. This is going to energize me. It is going to make my thoughts very peaceful and pure. 5 times you say in your mind, and then you consume this water. This is the energy. Your food will become, your water will become energized. This is called charged water. What we say in our Shastras, like, the Charnamrit that you have. It is nothing but water, but it's the vibrations that you are instilling in it. So this is all about food and dietary habits that we keep on having a brief overview, a glimpse of commonly food patterns, common things, common do's and don'ts that we must be having in your, must be using this thing in our diet. That's very, very important for us. Second important base for our health is doing a good exercise. Very important for us. Some people say, oh, Doctor, I am already thin. I am a healthy person. Should I be moving? Some people say, I'm already doing a gym. Do I really need to move? Some people say, I exercise, Doctor, 2 days a week for 4 hours. I just sweat it out. I don't have time because I'm busy in my workplace. So let us see what science says. Let us not understand what I believe is right and what you think is right. Let us see what science is saying. So if you are doing aerobic and physical activity, there is significant decrease in heart attacks and significant decrease in death. If I am to summarize as a cardiologist, 1 hour of exercise every day means you are increasing your age by 1 hour every day. This is pure science. Note it for your life. If you want to increase and live longer and healthier, you exercise for 1 hour every day. Healthy exercise, not just moving on the couch. Resistance exercises, muscle building exercises are important. Many of us say, oh, why should I be doing weights? No, no, no. It's a misnomer. We should be doing weights because it leads to better physical functioning, glycemic or diabetic control, and it also decreases our blood pressure. Second thing that we need to know is always initiate an exercise program at a lower level. Many a times I remember as a childhood, I would not do an exercise. And one day I would run to my mother with that weight. So I showed you that picture, 80, 90 kgs. And I would say, I'm going for an exercise. I'll just sweat it out on a treadmill. And I'm just sweating. I'll again have a similar kind of food, which will completely neutralize my calories and not maintaining a consistency. It's of no use. Last thing is, no matter what your age and physical ability is, starting an exercise program according to your capability is a blessing. It's the best thing that you can do to your health and to your brain. Facts that you must know is shorter duration of exercise is equally beneficial. It's not that you must be doing for 20 hours, 10 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours continuously. But people who exercise for 15 minutes and they get busy, who again take time for 15 minutes of break, again exercising, it's equally beneficial because accumulated exercise of more than 150 minutes per week is important. Focus should be on total accumulated exercise. There is very diminishing evidence of doing a very high levels of exercise. Some people exercise for more than 3-4 hours a day. It's of very less incremental benefit. Sedentary behavior is worst cardiovascular outcome. Very bad cardiovascular outcomes once we are having a sedentary lifestyle. So myth is exercise is only for overweight. No, we all need it. Muscle strengthening has no benefit. No. Mechanical loading on skeletal muscle will increase the bone formation, decrease the bone loss, and decreases the diabetic chance. How should we be doing it? Move. Get moving. 30 to 40 minutes every day, 5 days a week, preferably in the morning, moderate intensity walking. So you would say, what is good walking for me? A good walking for you is when you are not able to talk to yourself or the person who is walking to you or on your mobile comfortably. That is good walking. A good walking is that in which you are trying to run after a just started moving bus. This is very, very important. Muscle strengthening should be done at least 2 times in a week. Not every day, but do it 2 times in a week. If we are not doing muscle strengthening, we are losing 2 pounds of muscle every year and it is replaced by fat. So that is why muscle strengthening is very, very important. Accumulated exercise, more than 150 minutes per week, is more important than a single spurge or single surge of exercise. In this COVID times, it is very, very important for us to understand that those people who are having a very good exercise schedule, even when they are in their homes or when they are just minimalistic moving, they are having a better immune function. The ability of the old people to fight the corona or this COVID times and even the other allergies, it totally depends on how strengthening or how powerful your immune system is. And that in turn is strengthened by the exercise that you are doing. That is why you see people of 100 and 110 years, 90 years fighting the COVID and coming out healthy. Why? Because their immunity is very powerful. Very, very powerful. Exercise also reduces the risk of respiratory viral infections. It also improves significantly the immune functions and the Acute moderate exercises stresses the immune system less than the prolonged high intensity session. So important at these times is to do moderate exercises, not stress yourself with a very high burden. Exercise has some benefits on our brain health also. Very important for our brain also. How? Look at this. The blood flow to our gray matter increases. The moment we exercise, the flow to our brain will increase. And when the blood flow to our brain is increases, look at this, the hippocampus, a brain part which is associated with learning and memory, it grows in size. It grows in size regularly, irrespective of your age. So if you are moving continuously every day in your life, your ability to learn, your ability to be active, your ability to memorize things will become much better. It improves the memory, the attention span, and your decisiveness again because of your hippocampus. It prompts the growth of your nerve cells, and it also improves our ability to do and handle turbulent situations simultaneously. Very nice. Happy hormones in our brain like dopamine, endorphins, and enkephalins, all these things are increased significantly. All the happy hormones, if you want to be happy, that kick continuously comes by exercise. All these hormones will start increasing significantly. And also when you exercise, your calming hormones like GABA, they also increase in production. So there is a lot of scientific evidence that your brain loves the gym. That gym is not that typical gym, but it's walking. You would ask, how did I do it? I just do powerful, good walking. I remember when I lost from 96 to 66 kgs, the 30 kgs in 6 months, it was a good journey of walking, jogging every day, and simultaneously balancing it with a very healthy diet. No gym, nothing. Absolutely. I just used to do a lot of walking with my parents. I was at that time young. All of our family used to go to the park in the university and have those rounds continuously. So not only you are connected to nature when you are out of that environment, that false sense of connection of having an iPod or a iPhone or a phone and that watching a movie and doing exercise, it is much less beneficial as compared to when you are out into the nature. Even today, I go out into the nature surrounded by trees if it is possible. And even if you have a small park, just go out and take a stroll in there. If you don't have, it doesn't matter. Walk in your home. Try to find and design a good exercise program for your own health. So a lot of changes are happening. Again, the same things, endorphin, the serotonin enhancing mood, all these things are happening. The brain derived neurotrophic factor is increasing. It decreases the ability of the death of the neurons, and repairing ability of our brain significantly increases. All these neurons, their ability to generate themselves is very, very high. So when we are exercising, it is doing a lot of good. It is also directly having influence on our success. A study in 20 students, 20 children, when it was done, when they are sitting quietly, look at the brain activity, but moment they are having a walk and they are moving, look at the brain activity, it gets active. And when these children are followed up prospectively, all these children who are going out to the nature, exercising every day, their cognitive development, their scores, their academic performance, their classroom behavior, and their attendance, all these 5 parameters were significantly higher, significantly better by exercise only. So this is the importance of exercise in our body. And I strongly say, I'm not asking you to run. Remember, the golden rule is if you are 50, 60, 70 years and you're watching this program, it doesn't mean that you start competing with a 20-year-old child. Not at all. For a 70 or 80-year-old gentleman, walking speed, remember that same dictum. If you walk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you get tired, stop down. Have a chat. Have a glass of water, something, and again start. Intermittent exercise. Accumulation is more important. Move according to your capacity. According to your capacity. Don't stress your knees. Don't stress your brain. It should be an enjoyment. because exercise is going to bring a bag full of benefits to you. Very, very important. But as we exercise, don't you think it is also equally important to do exercises for our brain also? That is the emotional exercise. As we move our body, are we also consciously choosing to move our brain, consciously exercising our brain, and our brain is continuously generating those thoughts? 50 to 70,000 thoughts I shared with you. It is continuously producing those thoughts. Now it's our choice that how do we play around, juggle around with those thoughts? How do we juggle around with those thoughts? We want the same old thoughts, same old choices, the same old behaviors, the same old feelings, the same old emotions, and the same old life. It's absolutely the same. No change in our life. You are happy, go ahead with them. But if you want to change, you have to go out into the unknown. A beautiful future is created by exploring the unknown, by unraveling the unknown, by changing, by exploring, by creating the unknown. So one of the very pertinent and beautiful exercises that we all should be doing today is to exercise our mind, to clean our mind. As a doctor, as a cardiologist, and as a human being, all of you also, we all sanitize our hands many times a day. We all wash our hands with soap so many times a day. Never ever did we use soap and sanitization so many times earlier. Every day we take a bath to keep ourselves clean so that dirt is not there. We are free of germs. When I go for operations or something, I'm wearing a suit to protect myself from the negative energy or the infections of other people affecting me. Isn't it so much important? But are we also protecting to exercise our thoughts to be influenced by negative emotions of anger, of hatred, of irritation, of competition, of jealousy, of anxiety, of stress, of expectations, of lack of trust, of laziness, everything influencing? What your thoughts we are creating is your own choice. What we create in our mind is our own choice. And if we don't control our minds, if our thoughts go haywire, they are growing whatever they want to grow, they are moving in whatever direction they want to move. If that is the way our life is going, we can grow into a big weed. It's our choice. We can do that. But if we sharpen our thoughts, if we nurture our thoughts, if we water them with peace and purity every day, if we exercise to clean our thoughts every day, then the same mind can turn out into a beautiful garden. It's all created by our own exercises that we give to our own mind, your own conscious choice. As we move every day in our life, we exercise to clean our body. But today, let us make a conscious choice to clean our mind also. Isn't it? How much time, how many times we will say, I won't forgive that person, I won't do this thing for that person, I will keep on carrying that negative burden in my mind. And if we are ready to do this, this mind, this soul is going to be a bag full of weeds, a bag full of hatred, anger, jealousy. And that is why if I keep on saying every day that it's natural for me to be angry, it's natural to get irritated, it's natural to have a competitive feeling, it's natural to hate somebody, that means I'm naturally choosing to keep all the dirt in my mind, all the dirt in my mind. It's a choice that I have created. And let me ask each one of you one thing. Exercise one thing for me, okay? Do just this small favor for Dr. Gupta for one day, for 5 days only. I will just suggest you that for next, do we have any volunteers here? We have the panelists here. We have Chandan Bhai or Krati Bhan. Are you there?
Yes, Mohit Bhai, we are here.
Come on. So you're going to answer this thing to me on behalf of everyone. And let me put a very simple exercise for all of you. For next 5 days, I request you to do only one exercise. For next 5 days, when you clean your home, when you clean your bathroom, when you clean your kitchen, my humble request to you is, to just as a mark of respect for me, for 5 days, you keep all those dirty things into a bag and decorate them into your drawing room. Would you do that, Kritiven, for me or not? For 5 days, all the dirt that is coming out of your home, you decorate that, collect that, not throw that out, and decorate that into your drawing room. Are you ready to do it? Yes or no?
No, not at
No.
all.
Me too. Okay, special discount for you. You're a panelist. Can you do it only for 2 days?
I won't.
You
Mohit bhai,
won't.
sorry.
So no, nobody is going to do this. So this is natural. We want to clean our homes ourselves every day, but we are not ready to exercise to clean our mind every day of these negative emotions. How is it going to work out for us? If these kind of feelings are regularly there in our life, they are very harmful. They're going to create turbulence. They're going to really harm us. Anger, irritation, hatred, jealousy, competition, criticism, complaint. All these feelings are so harmful for us. Let us exercise to clean our mind every day. Loving, to create acceptance, compassion, and appreciation for it. To understand everyone. People are not wrong, people are different. People are doing things in a different way. Even if they are wrong, let me appreciate in a gentle way. Let me have that feeling of non-judgmental awareness, detaching and analyzing that situation in a very beautiful and proper way. Let me first accept before I give teaching to everyone. If I am able to do these exercises, your life will become a joy to live in. This is the time to hold hands, my dear friends, and not grudges in your life. And the last thing that we come to is sleep, rest. While sleep and rest is a biological necessity, no doubt about it, we all need to have an appropriate sleep. 7 to 8 hours in adults, probably 6 to 7 hours, somebody says, and in children and teens, it is more important to have 8+ hours. The moment our sleep cycle is set at night, it's the generation of melatonin, the release of melatonin that puts up to sleep. But most of us, many of us, not most of us, many of us are reversing our sleep cycle, not sleeping on time. I used to do it in my life so many times. It was just creating burnout. Reversing that biochemical release is really harmful. 1 in 3 adults today are not getting enough sleep. If a common myth is that I can catch up on the sleep lost during the week at the weekend, this is wrong. We need to have a 6 to 7 hour good sleep every night. And when we are able to do that, we are nurturing and nourishing our. Look at this, what happens when we are not having a good sleep. Our ability to, actually come down to logical conclusions to problems significantly decreases. Parietal lobe is running havoc. Our ability to learn to memorize new tasks and to develop novel connections, our neocortex, it again goes amok. It is not in control if you're not sleeping properly. That is why if you have had an improper sleep, your memory will not be giving you a good companionship. Your language will be slurred. If you're tired, you might be very, very articulate, but there is some level of lack of articulation. Your speech will not be the way you want. Temporal lobe, again, starts misbehaving with us. Your prefrontal cortex, your judgmental ability, your ability to have that visual impression, that is very, very important. Again, that also loses its complete capacity. And your frontal lobe, the ability to do creative things, lack of focus, all these things are completely, seen. The frontal lobe is also not functioning properly when we are not having a proper sleep. So impaired cognition, you talk about symptoms of depression. Look at the children staying up late in the night, and forget about children. We are also busy with this mobile, late at nights, busy with the mobile, WhatsApp, Facebook, continuously connected, continuously. And suddenly there is a surge that comes. While using this mobile, we go off to sleep as if, no, I am not tired. Not going to do any good to you. Lack of sleep, the melatonin decreases when you are exposed to light late at night. Remember, this is called the blue light effect. The blue light effect. A decrease in melatonin disrupts the estrogen production, and this leads to breast cancer in females. Similarly, heart disease increasing, the weight gain is significantly higher. Diabetes risk is higher. The stroke risk is higher when we are sleeping even less than that. Anxiety is higher, everything. So sleep is a biological necessity and we must be doing. Simple sleep hygiene guideline here. Don't take stimulants like coffee before sleeping. Avoid obsessive watching of televisions or serials at least 1 hour before the sleep. Switch off the devices. Or if it is really necessary, switch off your social media and keep your mobile just for some important call next to you. That's fine. Keep your bedroom dark and reasonably comfortable, not luxurious. It is not needed to have a luxury bedroom. It's needed to have a comfortable bedroom. Comfortable. Very, very important. Avoid sleep naps. If you are not able to fall asleep at night, then go out, move. When you feel fatigued, again go on to a bed and then sleep. Meditate before you are sleeping. Always practice gratitude. Write something good, read something good, because you're giving positive thoughts to your subconscious mind and you come at most calm. That is a beautiful time when you're connected with your own self. You're giving powerful thoughts, that thankfulness feeling, that compassionate feeling, that feeling of gratitude. Writing something nice, reading something nice is very, very. So maintaining a regular sleep schedule is also important. Reversing the sleep schedule is really harmful for all of us. So these are simple guidelines if we need to follow to give good rest to our body. But my question to you is that just remember a day when you are mentally exhausted and disturbed on that day, even if you are lying down for 5 hours, 7 hours, or 10 hours in your bed, you won't have a good sleep. But remember a day when you are really happy, you do something good for somebody, you're coming home, returning home after doing something benefiting, something really, doing something really happy for somebody. What kind of sleep do you have? Even if you are sleeping for 3 to 4 hours, it's a beautiful, it's a relaxed. So it is pertinent to know that while your body is sleeping, am I also able to make my mind sleep? And that beautiful exercise is called meditation, that power of meditation. As we are in quarantine today at our homes, physically quarantine, which is our choice, but meditation is a spiritual quarantine, which is our conscious choice that we create every day. Our own conscious choice. It's the emotional rest. As we give rest to the body, it's important to give rest to our mind also. Everything that is working continuously gets tired. Our soul is also tired today of thinking negative, of thinking creating harmful feelings for other people. It's important that today we create more positive and powerful feelings. We give rest to our soul, charge our souls, just like you charge your mobile, your laptop every day. It is equally important for all of us to charge our own self. It's also important for us to charge our own thoughts. So much important, isn't it? And that process is called meditation. It's about giving space to your own self, giving space. If you don't give space between the words, what will happen? The clarity decreases. You are able to enjoy the movie. You are able to enjoy reading the book. You are able to enjoy any task because there is a space in between. Don't we think we often use this word, oh, please give me some space in my life? If somebody takes away that space in my life, the comfort is also there. The clarity is also decreased. What does meditation do? Meditation is giving space to your thoughts. Just as it is giving space to the words, It's giving space to your thoughts. Thinking less. When you are thinking less, you are thinking slow also. And when you are thinking less and thinking slow, the quality of your thoughts become better. The power of the soul to generate that kind of energy becomes much, much better. See, that is why it's not the quantity of thoughts that you are generating. Overthinking, the present day pandemic that we are facing, but it's the quality of thoughts that we generate that determines our thoughts. And that is the power of meditation. It's giving space to our mind, teaching your mind to stay relaxed, teaching your mind to just be, teaching every thought of your mind to learn to be peaceful, loving, happiness, powerful, joyous, pure for every soul. This is meditation. Space allows us, giving space to our mind allows us to bring out those original, powerful, our own folders, our own energy, our own BIOS system, the booting system of our own human computer, which is nothing but peace, which is nothing but love, happiness, power, knowledge, and purity. When all six of these we are able to incorporate in our lives, it is then that we start experiencing the bliss, the anandam in our, what we say, happiness beyond senses. This is what is the power, the emotional rest that we all need to give to our own selves. Connecting our own soul, the powerful consciousness which is there in this costume. This is a costume, my car, and the consciousness is here, and connecting it to the supreme consciousness, and that is the source, is called meditation. This is the powerful, the 7 qualities of soul. The moment we start meditation, I love this slide. I love to reinforce this belief system in my own life. The moment we practice this, the moment we encourage this, we start balancing our life, because we believe our life to be logical, to be scientific, to be successful. We need to be decisive, reasonable, and realistic. All these things are important. We are using our left brain predominantly, very important, to take decisions, to create magic in our life, to have that word using karma yogi in our life. It is very important. But the moment we start meditating, we balance it with powerful emotions, creative emotions, passionate emotions, logical के साथ साथ loving also, yearning, vivid. The moment we create that balance, it creates harmony in our life. This is what the power of meditation. It's about balancing all the emotions of both the brains. Listen, see this. When we are prone to anxiety and depression and weakened mental health, there is a complete imbalance of our brain. But few minutes, only few minutes out of those 1,440 minutes, just 15 minutes in the morning. Look at this, what magic it is doing. It is completely harmonizing. If you are able to take out 25 minutes, you'll get more juice, amazing power. You are able to create that complete balancing, a more integrated, a more optimized, a more, updated system. You optimize your computers and mobiles, isn't it? Why don't optimize your own software, your own emotional software also? Meditation is the process of updating your emotional and mental software. That communication increases. So would you do that particular balancing? This is the art of living a healthy lifestyle. My dear friends, when we talk about lifestyle is not just about the life, this body. Life is about the life which is the soul here. The life which is governing my body also. We need to give diet to our body and our soul. We need to exercise our body as well as our soul. And we need to give rest appropriate to our body and our soul. And this is what is a holistic lifestyle, a balanced lifestyle, isn't it? So let us sit back, relax, and ease out ourselves. Enjoy. So that's it, my dear friends. It's all about transformation. It requires attitude, patience, perseverance, and persistence. These are the only 4 tools that you require to create magic in your life. Thank you and Om Shanti.
Thank you very much, Mohit Bhai. I think calling it just an eye opener would not do justice to the session. All my questions got answered. I hope it did the trick for all the participants. Thank you once again. Shortly after a couple of minutes, we would be having question and answer session. So let me just share my screen. I request all participants to use chat option to send their questions. And meanwhile, we are getting questions from the participants. Let me take this opportunity to make some few important announcements. First and major announcement is that IT Wing is arranging an e-conference that is Awakening to the Call of Time. It's a 3 days conference from 3rd July to 5th of July. More than 15 renowned speakers would be there and would be giving their fabulous speeches. In case you want to know more about it, please visit bkitving.org/conference. We are having yet another third session of applied Rajayoga meditation sessions. It's a 10-day session, would be starting from 11th of July to 20th of July from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. In case you're interested in knowing more about it, please visit bkitving.org/applied-rajyoga. Registrations are now open. We are having daily meditation experiences from IT team, that is 20 minutes of guided meditation on daily basis. The timings are 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. that is in English and 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Hindi. For knowing more about it, please visit bkitving.org/let's meditate. In order to see previous webinars, you can visit bkitving.org/webinar, which will have all the previous webinars recorded with IT Wing. Please remain updated at bkitving.org/events, and we request you all to please provide your kind feedback at bkitving.org/feedback for us to know that in case if there are any things which we need to do to maintain the standard or to increase it, just share please. We have couple of meditation apps. First is Just a Minute app and second is B-Zone app. You can use these apps to have small amount of meditation for frequently for a day. It has various different kind of meditation settings in it. So just visit and let us know. Now it will be the question and answer time. I request all the participants, if they're interested, to share their questions over the chat to PK Krati, and then I will be asking these questions to Mohit Bhai. Mohit Bhai, we already have few questions shared with us from few participants. Uh, are you there, Mohit Bhai? Yeah,
Yeah,
request you to please turn on your video and then I'll be
is it? Oh, yeah.
asking.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, first question is, Mohit Bhai, these days a lot of people are taking vitamin C. Does this need to be avoided as many of us might not need it? What is your opinion about it?
My strong recommendation is that in present times, you should all be consuming extra amounts of zinc and vitamin C, particularly because these both are known to increase our immunity, our resilience power, and body's ability to fight any level of viral illnesses. So consume as much amount of vitamin C. It is not going to harm you. And if you are not consuming, consume it. Start consuming it from tomorrow. So I would strongly recommend it. Natural forms of vitamin C are very helpful, and natural forms of zinc are also very useful.
On the similar note, Mohit Bhai, what are the natural sources of zinc which is useful in COVID
So you
protection?
can have various levels of green vegetables also, broccoli also. You can have milk, which is a good source of. You can have guava. There's so many fruits, and you can search. There are around about 100 because that will give you a list of all these sources and the food patterns that you are consuming. And particularly important is to have fresh lemon. A very good way to have that is have a lukewarm water, add a fresh lemon to it, and probably add a little bit of honey to it, and that makes a perfect tea and a very healthy tea for you. And you can, if you are okay, you can have a little bit of dalchini along with that, and also haldi in it. So this is the typical kadha that has been recommended today as a immune system. So there are various ways in which you can prepare, and sources of vitamin C, vitamin B12, and zinc particularly. You can type on the Google. There is the first list that comes is gives you a whole list of a compendium then that you can fit into your diet and choose what you want.
Thank you very much, Mohit bhai. There are a lot of thank yous for you. And there's one
No,
particular suggestion I must congratulate on this excellent talk. So there's a question with it. Please let us know what sort of exercise should 75-year-old patients with carb or heart surgery should be doing during COVID times whilst they are
walking.
self-isolating.
A very good exercise is to start moderate walking. Light to moderate walking every day is one of the best exercises that one can do. Plus, also along with that, taking up some light weights, only half a kg, only few 100 grams, 250 grams. If you start toning in your muscles, that is going to do a lot of good to you. Gradually, as you build up, I'm surprised that you are asking this after heart surgery, because most of my patients, even if they had an open heart surgery or even if they are having only PCI or the percutaneous interventions, I strongly recommend that you should start an exercise program within 2 to 5 days of that, in consultation with your doctor. Start with a good walking schedule. Very important. Even if it is at your home, that is fine.
Thank you, Mohit bhai. I urge all the participants to stay back for all the question and answer sessions. We are addressing really interesting questions here. So, on that note, Mohit bhai, there's a question related to solutions for recurring PCOD. Do we have any thought on it?
This would be like for me to roam about in an unwarranted
Yeah.
territory. So I would actually refrain from this kind of a question, because this is not my domain. I do have an answer for it because my mother is a gynecologist, but I would not be happy to answer this because this is not my domain and not pertaining to this talk. But let me tell you, the incidence of PCODs and all these things, they decrease significantly once you are having a good lifestyle, and especially when you are non-obese. This much I can tell.
Thank you, Mohit bhai. There's a question about opinion about keto diet. Do we have any opinion on it?
Very good diet, very, very stringent diet, a diet which requires extreme level of monitoring. This should either be coming from a mother whose child is taking a keto diet. Very rare to come out from a person who's actually having a keto diet, because I have faced this question so many number of times. So if you are not happy with the kind of solutions that I gave you, if you are not happy with the kind of solutions to lose weight the way I did, probably keto diet is one of the good ways to do that. There are other also good diets along with that, but remember, keto diet requires persistence and very stringent monitoring. And long-term persistent on keto diet is very, very difficult, but because it has so many do's and don'ts, which which I should not be discussing here. So it has to be carried out under the supervision of a very expert nutritionist, and not just Google search or a XYZ engine search and just start it.
Thank you, Mohit bhai. Would you be able to take few more questions because we are already above time?
Please go ahead.
Okay. What is the best way to reduce belly fat quickly? I think you answered it, but do you want to add anything
Yeah.
to it specifically to this question?
So there's another question. I'll take it. So somebody has asked that how should we calculate the number of glasses that you should be having every day? So it's very simple. You have your weight in pounds divided by 0.67, and that is equal to the ounces of water to drink per day. And if you divide it by 8, that will give you the number of glasses. And this is very easily available on the internet. You can check. But recommendation is to have at least 2 to 3 liters of water, and that is going to do a lot of good.
Thank you, Mohit bhai. Mohit
Any
bhai,
other
in
questions?
recent, yes, just one more. In recent times, there is stress on vegan diets where milk and milk products are to be avoided because they are usually flooded with a lot of hormones. So, what are your thoughts on
Which
that?
diet you're talking about?
Vegan diet. No
Vegan's
milk.
diet, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. If you can follow a vegan diet, it is very good for health. There is no doubt. Personally, I enjoy eating milk, drinking milk and milk products. So I am not in favor of that particular diet. But those people who are having a vegan diet and avoiding that kind of an animal protein also, that is perfect. And this is one of the things that is doing a lot of good to the body. There are many big people, celebrities, and many other common people who are taking up to a vegan diet, and this is a heart healthy diet. But if you ask me the evidence directly for the vegan diet, that is not there. As far as the cardiological random studies are concerned, evidence is very, very clear for the Mediterranean diet and other diets. But for me, if somebody is on a vegan diet and he's ready and happy to continue with the same, that's a good diet. There's no problem. But you can always spoil yourself off and on with certain products that you like. If you like, dahi, curd, or buttermilk, or milk products, that is all a matter of a personal choice.
Thank you, Mohit Bhai. We have covered most of the questions, and now seeing that we are already above time, I request all the participants to please share their questions to us through sit@bkmail.org, and we will get them answered. So, Mohit Bhai, thank you very much for today's session.
Thank
I
you,
thank
Amshana.
all the participants for joining us today, and have a great day. Have a great weekend. Om
Thank you
Shanti.
so much, everybody. Thank you.